nervous. Very, very dreadfully nervous I had been. And am. Why will you say that I am mad? The disease had sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all was a sense of hearing acute. I heard all things in the heaven and in the earth. I heard many things in hell. How then am I mad? Hearken and observe that how healthily and how calmly I can tell you the whole story. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me day and night. Object, there was none. Passion, there was none. I loved the old man. He never wronged me. He never gave me insults. For his gold I had no desire. I think it was his eye. Yes, it was this. He had the eye of a vulture. Yeah, a pale blue eye with a film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold. And so by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man and thus rid myself of the eye forever. Now, this is the point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing. But you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded. With what caution, with what foresight, with what dissimulation I went to work. I was never kinder to the old man than during the whole week before I killed him. And every night, just at midnight, I turned the latch of his door. And opened it. Oh, so gently. And when there was an opening sufficient for my head, I put in a dark lantern. All closed, so that no light shone out. And then I thrust in my head. Oh, you would have laughed to have seen how cunningly I thrust it in. I moved it slowly. Very, very slowly, so I might not disturb the old man's sleep. It took me an hour to place my whole head within the opening. So far, I could see him as he lay upon his bed. Would a madman have been so wise as this? Oh, so cautiously, for the hinges creaked. I undid it so that a single thin ray fell upon the vulture eye. And this I did for 7 long nights, every night just at midnight. But I found the eye always closed, so it was impossible to do the work, for it was not the old man that vexed me, but his evil eye. And in the morning, when the day broke, I went boldly into the chamber, spoke to him courageously, calling him by name in a hearty tone and inquiring how he'd passed the night. So you see, he would have been a very profound old man indeed, to suspect that every night, just at 12, I looked in upon him as he slept. Upon the 8th night, I was more than usually cautious in opening the door. A watch's minute hand moves more quickly than did mine. Never before that night had I felt the extent of my own powers, of my sagacity. I could scarcely contain my feelings of triumph. To think that there I was, opening the door little by little, and he not to even dream of my secret deeds or thoughts. I fairly chuckled at the idea, and perhaps he heard me, for he moved on the bed suddenly as if startled. Now, you may think that I drew back, but no. His room was as black as pitch with thick darkness, for his shutters were close fastened through fear of robbers. So, I knew that he could not see the opening of the door, and I kept pushing on it, steadily. I had my head in. I was about to open the lantern when my thumb slipped upon the tin fastening. The old man sprang up in bed, crying out, "Who is there?" I kept quite still and said nothing. For a whole hour, I did not move a muscle. And in the meantime, I did not hear him lie down. He was still sitting up in the bed, listening, just as I had done night after night, hearkening to the death watches in the wall. Presently, I heard a slight groan, and I knew it was the groan of mortal terror. Ah! Oh! It was not a groan of pain or of grief. Oh no. It was the low, stifled sound that arises from the bottom of the soul when overcharged with awe. I knew that sound well. Many a night, just at midnight, when all the world slept, the sound has welled up from my own bosom, deepening with its dreadful echo. Oh, the terrors that distracted me. I say I knew it well. I knew how the old man felt and pitied him, although I chuckled at heart. I knew he'd been lying awake since the first slight noise when he had turned in the bed. His fears had been ever since growing upon him. He tried to fancy them causeless, but could not. He said to himself, "It's nothing but the wind in the chimney. It's just a mouse crossing the floor. Or it's merely a cricket that's made a single chirp." Yes, he tried to comfort himself with these suppositions, but found all in vain. All in vain, because death, in approaching him, stopped with his black shadow before him and enveloped the victim. And it was the mournful influence of the unperceived shadow that caused him to feel, although he neither saw nor heard, to feel the presence of my head within the room. When I'd waited a long time, very patiently, without hearing him lie down, I resolved to open a very, very little crevice in the lantern. So I opened it. You cannot imagine how stealthily, until at length, a simple, dim ray, like the thread of a spider, shot from out of the crevice and fell full upon the vulture eye. It was open, wide open, and I grew furious as I gazed upon it. I saw it with perfect distinctness, all a dull blue with a hideous veil over it that chilled the very marrow in my bones. But I could see nothing else of the old man's face or person, for I had directed the ray, as if by instinct, precisely upon the damned spot. And have I not told you that what you mistake for madness is but over acuteness of the sense? Now, I say, there came to my ears a low, dull, quick sound, such as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I knew that sound well too. It was the beating of the old man's heart. It increased my fury, as the beating of the drum stimulates a soldier into courage. But even yet, I refrained and stood still. I scarcely breathed. I held the lantern motionless. I tried how steadily I could to maintain the ray upon the eye. Meantime, the hellish tattoo of the heart increased. It grew quicker and quicker, louder and louder. The old man's terror must have been extreme. It grew louder, I say, louder every instant. Do you mark me well? I have told you that I am nervous, so I am. And now, amid the dreadful silence of that old house, so strange a noise as this excited me to uncontrollable terror. But for many minutes longer, I refrained and kept still. But the beating grew louder, louder, and I thought the heart must burst. And now a new anxiety seized me. The sound would be heard by a neighbour. The old man's hour had come. With a loud yell, I threw open the lantern and leapt into the room. He shrieked once only. In an instant, I dragged him to the floor and placed the heavy bedding over him. I then smiled gaily to find the deed so far done. But for many minutes the heart beat on with a muffled sound. This, however, did not vex me. It would not be heard through the wall. At length, it ceased. The old man was dead. I removed the bed and examined the corpse. Yes, he was stone dead. I placed my hand upon the heart and held it there many minutes. There was no pulsation. The old man was stone dead. His eye would trouble me no more. If still you think me mad, you will think so no longer once I describe to you the wise precautions I took in the concealment of the body. The night waned, and I worked hastily, but in silence. First of all, I dismembered the corpse. Cut off the legs, the arms, the head. I then took 3 planks of flooring from the chamber and deposited all between the scantlings. I then replaced the boards so cleverly, so cunningly, that no human eye, not even his, could have detected anything wrong. There was nothing to wash out, no stain of any kind, no blood spot whatever. I'd been too wary for that. Talbot got all. When I'd made an end of these labours, it was 4 o'clock. Still dark as midnight. As the bell sounded the hour, there came a knocking at the street door. I went down to answer it with a light heart. What did I now to fear? There then entered 3 men who introduced themselves with perfect suavity as officers of the police. A shriek had been heard by a neighbour during the night. Suspicion of foul play had been aroused. Information had been lodged at the police office and they, the officers, had been deputed to search the premises. I smiled. What did I to fear? I bade the gentleman welcome. The shriek, I said, was my own in a dream. The old man I mentioned was absent in the country. I took my visitors all over the house. I made them search Search well. At length, I led them to his chamber. I showed them his treasures. Secure, undisturbed. In the enthusiasm of my confidence, I brought chairs into the room and desired them here to rest from their fatigues, whilst I, in the wild audacity of my own triumph, placed my own seat upon the very spot beneath which reposed the corpse of the victim. The officers were satisfied. My manner had convinced them. I was singularly at ease. But ere long, I felt myself getting pale and wished them gone. My head ached, and I fancied a ringing in my ears. But still they sat and chatted. The ringing became more distinct. It continued, became more distinct. I talked more freely to get rid of the feeling. But it continued, gained definitiveness until at length I learned that the noise was not within my ears. No doubt I now grew very pale. I talked more fluently, with a heightened voice, but the noise steadily increased. And what could I do? It was a low, dull, quick sound, much such a sound as a watch makes when enveloped in cotton. I gasped for breath, and yet the officers heard it not. I talked more quickly, more vehemently, but the noise steadily increased. I arose and argued about trifles in a high key and with violent gesticulations, but the noise steadily increased. Why would they not be gone? I paced the floor to and fro with heavy strides and as if excited to fury by the observations of the men. But the noise increased overall. Why would they not be gone? I paced the floor to and fro with heavy strides as if excited to fury by observations of the men, but the noise steadily increased. What could I do? I foamed. I raved. I swore. I swung the chair upon which I'd been sitting and grated it upon the boards, but the noise increased overall. Oh, God. It grew louder. Louder, louder. Was it possible he heard not? Oh, God. No. No. They heard. They suspected. They knew. They were making a mockery of my horror. This I thought, and this I think. Anything is better than this agony. Anything is more tolerable than this derision. I feel I must scream or die. And again,